look at algebraic division. Now I'm going to do this example alongside a more familiar numerical division. So on the left I'm going to do it with numbers and on the right with algebra. Now the first thing we do to find out how many 13s go into 457 is ask ourselves how many times does 13 go into 4, which we know doesn't happen, so we have a remainder, naught remainder 4, and then how many 13s go into 45? Well, the answer there is 3. If I didn't know the answer, I'd write out the 13 times table if it was going to get a bit too tricky. Now 3 13s make 39, and I'd write that down here. Now I'm writing that down here so I can find out the remainder. The remainder is 6. Then I bring down the 7 and then ask myself how many 13s go into 67. The answer to that is 5. 5 13s are 65, leaving a remainder of 2. So the answer is 13, not 13 at all, the answer is 35, remainder 2. So 35 and 2 over 13, if you like. Now it's no different with algebra. We ask ourselves how many times does x go into x cubed, and the answer is x squared. See, I don't even have to write out the times table here, it should be that straightforward. Then, just like I multiplied 3 by 13 to get 39, I'm going to multiply x squared by x plus 2 to get x cubed plus 2x, and then we subtract to find the remainder. Now make sure you put these in the right columns. This is the x cubed column, this is the x squared column. Now to subtract, that disappears. If it doesn't, something's wrong, and here we're left with x squared. Now the one thing to do is be careful with negatives. Hopefully we'll see that in this example, but I'm not sure because I just randomly made it up. So x squared, how many x's go into x squared? The answer is x. Now x times x add 2 is x squared, add 2x. One thing I didn't do was bring down the minus 2x here. There's no reason why I can't put that in now. Now we subtract to find the remainder. I'll put lines underneath here so you can see when we're subtracting. Subtract to find the remainder, we get minus 4x here. And I'm going to bring down the 4 from here. Now how many x's go into minus 4x? The answer is minus 4. And that gives us, when we multiply minus 4 by x, we get minus 4x, and minus 4 times 2 is minus 8. So we get that, and that gives us a remainder of 4 subtract minus 8, which is 12. So what this works out to be is, I don't really want to write this all out, but it's x squared add x minus 4, remainder 12, or x squared plus x minus 4. Now you see why I didn't want to write this out. Minus 4, and then add the remainder, which is add 12 over x plus 2. So it's exactly the same sort of technique as with numbers. Now just to clarify a few things, if we weren't dividing, if there was no x squared term in what we were dividing by, then obviously I wouldn't write an x squared term, but don't write the x term and x cubed term next to each other. Write 0x squared. So if we're dividing and there was no x squared term, write 0x squared. That way we're keeping it in sort of columns, x cubed column, x squared, x, and numbers. The second thing is be careful with negatives. It's very easy to subtract and forget that when you subtract 2 from minus 2 you get minus 4, or when you subtract minus 8 from 4 you get 12. So be very careful with subtracting negatives.